Welcome back everyone to another video, and in this video I'm going to go through the best locations to consider for your investment brief. So about a week ago I put out a post saying just tell me 4 things. What is your budget for your next purchase? What is the structure you're buying under in, which is personal trust company or SMSF? How long you plan to hold the property for, and what investment properties you already own, and just the state and suburb. And based off these 4 criteria, I'm going to tell you some locations that you could be considering for your own personal brief. And I have about 3 briefs in the comments below, but if you want me to go through your situation, just comment down below guys and I will do another video similar to this. But let's go through the first one from Mass7382, budget of $500,000 to $600,000, purchasing for a personal use / PPOR, long-term hold, and no investment properties at the moment. So this person is starting fresh. They are looking for their first investment property, personal use / PPOR. So it could be a PPOR, it could be a personal use property, an investment property, planning to hold for the long term, and no other investment properties at the moment. Now this person didn't really provide what sort of minimum yield they're looking for, so I'm just going to assume a 4.5% yield. And the reason I'm assuming 4.5% is because we want to have a high yield where possible to make sure the cash flow is acceptable, because if you're buying on 3 to 4% yield, it's too low. 4.5% yield is where you want to be at and above. And one such location this person can consider is Dubbo in New South Wales. And the reason I consider Dubbo, New South Wales a good option is for a couple of reasons. Number one, in New South Wales, when you are buying under your personal name, you have a higher land tax threshold compared to if you're buying under a trust, which means that there are a lot of benefits of buying in New South Wales under your personal name. And you can buy under a trust or SMSF or a company in different states like Queensland or Victoria. But when you're buying under personal name, New South Wales is a great option. Number two, Dubbo is a very economically diversified location. It is great for a long-term hold, has a great population base, supports a lot of smaller towns nearby, and so on. And I've done a full in-depth video of Dubbo, which you should definitely go check out. Now this person was purchasing between $500,000 to $600,000, and you can find great brick assets like this that have been recently sold. This one was in May. That falls under this person's price point. And you can see it's nothing of a stellar house. It's a very nice brick home, decent interior, looks perfectly rentable. And if you want to live in it, you can, as well as a PPOR. And this could be a great option for this person to consider. And when you roughly look at it, you can see you can get about $610 per week in rent. I do think that's a little bit high, but let's just assume around high $500. And so when you put it into your spreadsheet calculator, $600,000, about $25,000 to $30,000 in stamp duty, rent per week I put $550. That gets you about a 4.8% yield. If you put it to 600, you get about a 5.2% yield. But let's assume 4.8. With a 20% deposit, your only negative cash flow is around $12,000, which is very, very affordable, especially in this day and age when you're looking at houses. And this one has potential for long-term capital growth. And right now, Dubbo is continuing to grow in value. There is strong buyer interest in this location. Now it does have higher council rates and water rates, so that's something you have to factor in. But still, Dubbo is a great option for someone to consider for their first investment property, for that is looking for both short-term and long-term capital growth. Now there are definitely other locations right across Victoria and Queensland you can consider, with the likes of Rockhampton, Shepparton, just to name a few examples. But I think if you're buying under your personal name, you want a long-term hold with a budget of $500,000 to $600,000, Dubbo is a great location for you to consider. And if you haven't already, guys, jump into the private community, because I go through different strategy breakdown sessions with each different member every single day, helping them analyze different locations that fit their brief and work with them. I ask in detail questions. I go into understanding their long-term goals, their short-term goals, and their brief to help them pick the best locations to consider. It's $40 a month, guys. You can cancel anytime, and you get very sound advice, and you can bounce ideas off other community members, because there is value from learning from everyone. This is an active community for helping each other out on a daily basis, because it's a paid community, not like those free Facebook communities you find out there that do not provide any advice but only confusion. So if you want clarity, jump into the private community, guys. Now let's get back into the rest of the video. Now the next brief we have here is from Harry Long. He's a qualified Sparky in 6 months, living in Victoria rent-free. First home buyer. I'll have about $40,000 saved by the time I'm qualified. I'll make $90,000 annually, $45 per hour. So without OT, banks look at my income lower, which is fairly common. Should I buy a unit in Melbourne or renovate regional with the 10% deposit under personal lending? Probably tier 2 lender. I will need more capital, so I'm saving aggressively. Want to manufacture equity with cosmetic renovations and add it to the loan. Equity extraction in 2 years. So this person has a very specific brief, a very solid brief, and the more detail a person provides, the more I can help them. So let's work this backwards. So they have $40,000 saved up, right? Assuming it is a 10% deposit, they can purchase a property about $400,000 or so. Now, of course, other additional costs, so you may need to factor that in to your overall purchase price. So let's assume we're working with a $400,000 budget at this point in time. Now, the great thing is that if you're buying as a first home buyer, you won't have to pay stamp duty up to $600,000, which means you're not going to pay any stamp duty for your purchase price that you're purchasing at if you are buying it as a principal place of residence, which in your situation, you are, because you're a first home buyer. You can take the benefits of no stamp duty by purchasing and living in it for the first 12 months or so, and then decide to rent it out if you wanted to. And so what options does this person have? Now, when you're working with a $400,000 budget, you have very limited options, but I think that unit play can be a strong opportunity at the moment. And the reason I say that is because you can argue that it's at the bottom of its cycle. There's a lot of value at the moment, and it's well below replacement cost. And right now, units is really picking up some steam from an investment perspective, from investors chasing higher yields and more affordable options, and they themselves could be pushing up prices in these locations. And so you have options like this one here in West Footscray for less than $400,000. Now, this one is already partially renovated, but you can see the areas of the kitchen, it's on the older side. It could do with a minor reno. The bathroom, it is on the older side. It could also do with the reno. That means there is potential to manufacture equity even on a unit like this. So you don't necessarily have to go out there to a regional area to purchase a house to then renovate that house. You can do that right here in Victoria, which has potential for these low density brick units. Now, of course, units are a bit more riskier in terms of a strategy and a play from capital growth because you're not getting as big of a land component as you are getting in regional towns. Nonetheless, I think there is opportunity in units for you to consider and do your due diligence on. And that's just one example. You can have another example here on Gordon Street on West Footscray, selling for $385. And it's once again a pretty tidy old brick unit that has an older kitchen, that will have an older bathroom that you can renovate and manufacture equity and build it up as well. And so opportunities like this, I think, fit well within your criteria and your budget and can be a good opportunity for you. Now, yes, you can go to regional small towns in the middle of Victoria and purchase a old house for under $400,000 and renovate it and build it out and make it nice and sell it as well. Of course, that is another option for you to consider. I think the unit play at the moment, if you are smart and strategic about it, it can be a good opportunity for you to consider. And that's what I would be looking at if I was in your shoes. Of course, do your own due diligence and watch all my unit videos because they provide you the pros, the cons, and the risk and the rewards for every single part of units. Now let's move on to the last brief, guys. And like I said at the start of the video, if you want me to comment and help you analyze your strategy and work with you, comment down below and I'll do it in another video, guys, and I will help you guys out. I might make this a monthly thing as well. But the next one is from Lin Si Young. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Budget is around $600,000 to $700,000, so a very good budget. Structure is a family trust with a corporate trustee. Hold is 20 plus years. And current portfolio mainly in WA, and in Queensland it's Kawana. Looking to diversify into another state besides WA, completely valid. My priority is a long-term capital growth over the next 20 years, but I still like a property with solid cash flow and good rental demand. Which suburbs would you be looking at today? Again, thank you for a very detailed portfolio breakdown and with all the information I asked for. So let's go into some options for you to consider. Now, you already have properties in WA and Queensland. So one location that I think you can consider is Bendigo. Now, Bendigo is in Victoria, and there is a lot of benefits of investing into a location like Bendigo. It's one very economically diversified. It has a huge population base. It's only 2 hours away from Melbourne and has a direct train line to Melbourne as well. And so it's a great location to consider. In particular, Kangaroo Flat is a great option. When you look at options, you can find this one that's recently sold for the 6th of July 2026 for $652,000. A very, very nice home, perfectly well maintained, perfectly rentable as is. It's a 4x2. It's a great option to consider. Decent amount of land space, even potential for subdivision or development on this property, and something you can just hold on for the long term. And when you look at a property like this, it's going to rent for around $600 to $650 per week. And so when you put the numbers into the spreadsheet calculator, you're getting a negative cash flow around $11,000, $12,000 or so. Again, not the worst. You get a pretty decent cash flow opportunity with close to about 4.8% yield to a 5.2% yield, depending on how much you rent this out for. It can go anywhere from around $600 to $650 in my opinion. Now, the thing that you have to factor is when you're buying under a family trust, you will have land tax in Victoria, which means you need to factor that cost in, and that will bump up the negative cash flow, but I've already accounted for here. So again, around that negative $12,000. But something like this Kangaroo Flat property fits perfectly within your brief. You know, it's diverse diversified. It's away from WA and Queensland. It's well within your price point. It's a great long-term hold because it's a modern property that's brick, maintained well, and nothing you have to do. And Bendigo is a location that has decent cash flow, strong rental demand, strong future population growth, strong that it's economically diversified. So Bendigo, Kangaroo Flat is a location that I'd be looking at. Now, the other location that you can consider if you wanted to is another one in Queensland. Now, one of my personal favorites is to look in Bundaberg, and you can find houses like this that are brick, that's well maintained. This one does have a pool. I don't really like pools, but you can find homes without a pool that are good to consider, that have very good cash flow. In fact, Bundaberg itself probably has better cash flow in general compared to Victoria. And so Bundaberg is another location that falls directly within your budget that I would be considering because it's economically diversified, has strong infrastructure growth, a new hospital inbound, and has very, very, very tight rental demand. Because when we look at the data of the location, you can see that the rent has gone up 10% over the past 12 months. So there is very, very strong rental demand. Rents are increasing in a location that has been increasing for a while. Very tight vacancy rate, very low inventory, decent demand at the moment, and there is future capital growth to come. And so I think Bundaberg and Bendigo are great options for you to consider, especially when your strategy and your brief is as you say, when you're looking for good long-term holds, good rental demand, and solid cash flow. These are some very strong options that I would be looking at if I was in your situation. And so I hope that video has helped, guys. So if you want me to go through your strategy, leave a comment down below answering these questions. If you want more personalized advice, keep going more. Give me more information about your brief. And if you haven't already, jump into the private community because I help community members like this every single day within 24 hours. All your questions get answered super quickly because I am here to help you guys for an affordable price point. Till next time, guys, thank you very much.